gentlemen, start your engines, right? Interesting that that's the first thing. I had no idea someone was going to start up a motorcycle next to me. Though that may very well be part of this Aries energy that masculines are feeling. A little adventure, a little risk and reward sort of thing. Also, channeled song, How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees, feels very relevant to this reading. That how deep is your love? How deep is your love? And the part where it's like, because we're living in a world of truth. It feels like truth is very relevant to this, and especially so. So when I was thinking of that separately, but the energy oracle card that came up is the deceit card in reverse. Card number 25, which is a 7. And the fun thing about that card is that it means it's interesting. So somebody's inner child is screaming. Um, it means that the deceit in question, like if it was upright, there may be a deceit going on to be aware of. Whereas when it's in reverse, it's the energy of truth coming out, like that deceit, like getting the karma for just being deceptive, for lying, doing things like that, and things being revealed. And what it tells me in terms of when I was kind of like marinating in this, what's going on with the collective DMs in here, I was thinking about how that fits in with the song and how it fits in with a lot of energies coming in from myself and from others talking about, you know, masculines, especially those that are in karmic, I want to say circus situationships, really finding out the depths of the deceptions that they've both put themselves in, like self gaslighting, try to make it work or try to like deal with this duality about wanting to feel really loyal and like they don't just jump in and out of relationships, and also knowing that they've known that they've been deceiving themselves and that the karmics they've been with have been deceiving them. And it's interesting. I'm really called to. There's a box that he's holding in his hand, but it's interesting because the box looks like it's glowing in its own way, and it's got coins like floating around it, around his hand. And I mean, he's not holding it tightly, but he's kind of holding it like this. It reminds me of a dream that I had once, and it feels like, well, it feels like, I mean, we know a lot of masculines have been on this channel, this journey of like 3D, trying to get their coin together, sort of thing. And it feels like they've been using that. They've been using, workaholism, and I got to get a house. I got to do this. I got to get my coin right, to be their reason, their justification for not not being open to love, not being open to goodness and sweetness in life, not doing their healing work. And in say that is a part of their healing work, but not intentionally focusing on their healing work. And because they've been doing that and very in this 3D place, they've been deceiving themselves that like, well, I need a house before I can be happy, or I need to have a good job before I can be happy, or I need to do this or that before I can be happy. And it feels like they're really coming into alignment with the realization that no, you can't be happy with anything until you have happy. You have to get to that place first. But it also feels like an overall energy of, a lot of their karmic learning lessons, which aren't just like karmics in terms of, soulmates or false flames, or whether, they're good or bad soulmates. Like, it's not just that, it's connections with their families, with their kids, with their friends, with themselves, with their work, with their, how they balance work and play, just all those things. And they're starting to realize how much they've allowed other people to come in and kind of suck up all their time. And because they've just allowed things to go back and forth, and not really, well, so the divine energy cards that I got from them, I got take the lead and reevaluate your priorities. And this last Mercury retrograde that came up is so funny. I saw a thing about it. It was like, this Mercury retrograde didn't come for your exes, it came for your priorities, right? And it was very interesting energy in that, and I know that I've seen that going through the DM collective, that they really did have to stop and think about what are my priorities, where am I either giving the most attention to, or where am I allowing attention to go to that's not serving me, or what are the things that I've not been giving any priority to, like, I mean, especially like, if you're DF to them and you're trying to get some connection with them for, like, say, spiritual work. um they see, sorry about that, my kiddo got a notification on his phone. I don't think you realize I'm doing a reading. We're enjoying park day in combination with this. um but So the DMs are recognizing that they've not been in balance with what they've been doing. They do need that spiritual connection. They do need friendships. They do need playtime. They do need those sort of things. And even if they have the house and they have all the money and all of their finances are in order, they're still not going to feel happy until they have the rest, until they have that balance in there. And as shown by my little one and by all the noises and things going on, there's a lot of distractions that can come in too, and really create this need for focus. But I feel like Spirit is hastening that, especially with this Aries new moon, which has got so many different energies, including with the Aries stellium going on, that it's really kind of that. I'm feeling a very Ace of Swords vibe off of this. Is like truth, and not just truth vocally, but truth in our thinking, truth in how we're seeing things. And I think in Take the Lead and Reevaluate Your Priorities too, is a lot of them have created situations where the ball is in their court, and they have to go to the people that they didn't give any priority to, or not enough priority to, that are loved ones that they do want in their lives, and give that priority. Or maybe they need to reach out to you. Maybe you set a boundary and you're like, look, don't come until you come correct, and you said this behavior isn't acceptable. And so now they have to take the lead. And that's difficult, especially if they've been kind of numbing out on facing their healing journey and their healing work by working, or working and drinking, or working and going out, getting physical connections, things like that. So there's kind of that overall energy of like deceits uncovered, deceits found and known and acknowledged, both self deceit and deceits from others. And interestingly enough, what ended up on the bottom of the card was envy, card number 20. And look at that, financial constraints in reverse also. And the envy card in reverse, it's similar to the deceit card in reverse. In upright, it suggests that they would need to be working on envy, whereas in reverse, it's like they're releasing envy, and they've already gone through enough things dealing with jealousy, that they're more in this place. Well, I want to say I feel two timelines. There's some masculines who are actually in a place of, because envy, there's a certain healthy amount of envy, and then there's definitely unhealthy amounts of envy. Like when you think of green with envy, right? And you know what, it may have even been, like, say you had a masculine that jumped into a karmic situation and really started to focus on money and 3D material things, or having lots of partners, or doing things like that. It may have been even that they were envious of you, or envious of somebody who had a lot of options, a lot of freedom, a lot of just, or maybe they were envious of masculines who just do whatever they want and they don't listen to anybody, and so they were kind of playing with that mask, so to speak, and they're recognizing that that did not get them where they wanted, and it became deceitful, like that's not who they are or what they want. Or it could be that maybe, you guys, something happened and you had a separation, and then they watched you turn it around, pick yourself up, glow up, and became envious of that, and that kept them from coming towards you, because maybe they felt like you were way more high caliber than them, and they couldn't match you or beat you. Or and maybe they tried to do that, but it didn't quite work because they were deceiving themselves, or they were being or they were being deceived by karmic. And it feels really like, this new moon is, especially within Twin Flame Collective, all about bringing light to deceptions, bringing the truth out. But we're going to see, we're going to have a few more cards here, at least from this deck and from the Rider's Waite deck, and see what else is going on with DMs. All right, immediately popping out. The Thinking Man. Okay, card number 46. Let's get two more here. Thank you, Spirit, for two more. Seeing a lot of the Commodores on the radio today. I don't know if that's significant for you. If you like them, listen to some music. Also, I'm hearing in my head the song by the Temptations, Just My Imagination, running away with me. Yeah. And I think about that in relationship to the How Deep Is Your Love song, and I decided to go with the title, add that to the title of the song a little bit, or title of the video a little bit, because it feels like masculines are very much in this energy of how deep is this love with my divine feminine? Whatever it is that you did recently, whether you're just working on you, or you laid down the law, or like whatever's going on, they're thinking about you a lot, a lot, a lot. And it's likely that whatever experiences that Spirit has hastened lately has brought them into a place of recognizing, yes, they absolutely do love you, and it is definitely different than anything else they've experienced, but kind of in this like Aries toddler-esque way, kind of playing with that energy. Like, how deep is this love, and why is it so deep, and what makes it so, I almost want to say, it's weird to find a word. What makes it so durable? What makes it last through this karmic situation? What makes it last through everything I can possibly do to try to throw them off, or find that place where they stop loving me? Like, what makes it different? What makes them different? Is it just them? And could that be found elsewhere? Is it this specific relationship, or what? And it feels like that mixes in with that, that honesty, that radical honesty with self. And especially if you're DM, like, I think there's a lot of DMs that are really going through kind of a deep, dark time, so to speak, where they're really learning some really big truths about themselves and about their karmics. And many of them are finding out they've been cheated on or scammed, or that there was older deceptions going on. I think that energy is definitely amplifying now. And so they're really looking around and thinking about love and all the ways that it's shown up in their lives. And if you have been doing your healing journey and doing your glowing up, you already stood out. Even if you've been complete shit, you still stand out. The energy is different. But if you've really been working on your healing journey and really doing your work, that really makes a significant difference, especially now when they're like emerging from the cocoon, from that primordial goo, and being like, what have I had around me? What am I doing with my life? Who is it that's really shown me genuine love and loyalty and appreciation? Who is it that's been real with me, not just faking things, or saying stuff just to, make my ego feel good to get something out of me? Who's being transactional versus who's just there for it? Who's been walking beside me? Who's being my dance partner? Who's cheering me on, or even to a degree, like, appropriately drill sergeanting me, which is definitely not a recommended normal dynamic. But anyways, the second card that came out, Angel of Balance. So we got 46 and 48. 10 and 12. Which is interesting. I'm noticing the significance too. I'm going to laugh if we either get 44 or 50, because it's 2 by 2, right? Let's get one more card. Sing that song on the radio by Billy Joel. She's got a way about her. I don't know what it is, right? And that definitely feels very, very much in DM's thoughts. All right. Let's see here. Let's get one more card. I think I might pull like a few Rider Waits and then we'll cut this short. I think I might come on and do some either individual zodiac readings for this full moon, or I might do that uh, live card pull reading that I've been meaning to do. Oh, all right, I'll take these. We got two. Interesting. What did we get? Okay, 42. Woman holding a coin, reversed. And 6, contract, reversed. Now this card actually just came up in a recent private reading that I did. And interesting, let's look at the bottom. We've got 9, broken heart. And hot topic, interesting. This card almost came out as the overall reading. Card number 39, 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Remember that Ace of Swords? Let's see, heart of the matter. Caring connection, 14 in reverse. Yeah, with, I think for a fair amount of you, divine femmes, I'm going to say, like, it might just be in 5D. You might just feel it. But I think there's a very big likelihood that either tonight or in some of the following energies, maybe the next week or two, you're going to likely get a lot of clarity from your DMs about something that happened. And it could very much, if you tried genuinely to warn them about what your intuition told you about their karmic or anything like that, or you were, or they were just telling you that it wasn't a good situation, you're like, why are you putting yourself in that position? Why are you staying in that situation? Stand up for yourself, or don't take it, or have healthy boundaries, or hey, I found this out about so and so, and it doesn't seem safe. I'm worried for you, and they ignored you, or you're crazy, you're just jealous, or this kind of stuff. It's likely that that very stuff that you warned them about, or that you told them your intuitions or messages from spirit, has been happening, and they got the big one. And they're probably in their minds right now trying to figure out, with this take the lead card, how to tell you about it. Not just to relieve the guilt in it, not just to tell you that you were right, but really to acknowledge the depth in that, and with this woman holding a coin in reverse and contract in reverse too. Yeah, with the thinking woman and angel of balance, I'm getting the sense divine femmes are very much this angel of balance, and the thinking man, he's looking at that crystal there. He's really thinking deeply about it. There, if you have a connection with your DM, even that includes crystals, it might be something to do with that. But they're looking at a broken contract with the feminine who's holding a coin, and that might also have to do with you. Like, maybe they were supposed to help you with something financially. Maybe you have children, they're supposed to be help with um, child support, things like that, or even just having a grounded platonic friendship of some kind was supposed to be in there. But I'm really getting a sense that this woman holding a coin in reverse is more of the karmic energy, and that they have broken the contract. They have, the contract is in the relationship. It could be, that could also mean either a current divorce has occurred or is going to occur, or that just is simply a situationship that they had kind of talked themselves into or believed was happening, of it like a higher connection, a deeper committed relationship. Something has been broken, in that the contract has been broken, and they've done something enough for the DMs to feel like it's definitely done. And it's likewise, because we reflect all things too, it could be that because of that situation with the woman holding the coin in reverse, that they broke contract with you, and you said enough, right? And by doing that, by standing in your own and standing in your power, you may have provided the example and the energy for them to be able to do what they needed to do. But either way, it feels like they would have done this anyways, but it was helpful in whatever you did. So if you had a recent like kerfuffle with your masculine, recognize that spirit makes use of everything, and there's typically not necessarily a reason for all things, but all things can lead to healing when we want them to. And especially, if you've been feeling weepy lately, or squishy, is what we call it, squishy, or the squish, it's likely that you've been sensing that. Yes, you've been dealing with your own stuff, but you've been sensing that. And with that caring connections in reverse in the heart of the matter, it really tells me that they're really missing that deeply caring connection that they've probably only genuinely experienced with you. And they probably would have been back for it a lot sooner, but they had some contract. Could have even just been like a lease or something like that, or just a social contract that, they felt was in there, but somehow some sort of contracts have been broken. And because of that, they're probably allowing themselves to really examine how many different contracts they have in their lives with different people, and are they giving more than they're receiving, and how much of that becomes a transactional dynamic versus a healthy dynamic where, yeah, sometimes you're giving a little more than the other, but you know that they're going to give back more later. And I'm even sensing too, like, a fair amount of masculines may have been in a position to where they were allowing what little was being done by said karmics to mean more than it did. Like, it may have started out with, oh yeah, I'll cook and I'll clean and I'll take care of you in the bedroom and we'll have lots of fun and you'll get to do all these things you want and you just pay the bills, or you just do a few things. And it turned out masculines were doing all the big yard chores and cleaning up after the cleaning and doing, even getting into the cooking and taking care of kids and half time not their own. And, like, there's a lot of broken promises, a lot of broken contracts that occurred. And they were going, no, it's okay, because, they say, well, they do clean. And they're thinking in their heads, it's not actually clean. And I still have to clean up after it, or I have to whine about it and nag about it and ask about it in order for them to do it. But they didn't want you to know that. They didn't want other people to know that, because likelihood is, even if they just met you, they see you as more, even if you're all messy like me, they still see you as a high caliber feminine. They don't want you to know that it's not going very well, because a lot of them jumped into these karmic situationships because they wanted to prove themselves. And they thought that in many ways, they probably thought that they needed to prove themselves to you, but it's really about proving themselves to themselves. And now, especially with that thinking man energy, they're very much in this space of, why is it I'm doing this? What is it getting for me? Especially if you're very much like, you do what you want, I'm gonna go over here and glow up and have fun. They're like probably thinking about, what am I doing and why am I doing it? Does it even make me happy? And I think this very much divine feminine energy and an angel of balance, especially if you've been, you know, allowing yourself to find a good balance between genuine unconditional love and boundaries. All right, you know what? I'm going to leave that there and simply say the card on the bottom of this deck is have faith. And I really feel like that is really important energy for divine feminines. And as you have faith, your masculines will reflect you and also have faith too. So have a little faith in me. Or there's a tease for Maverick when she watches this is, when the road gets dark. All right. I will catch y'all in the next video and have a happy new moon.